On the other hand, we have some new world records, of course, for the month of September, most of them. For the Nintendo Wii, we have Super Mario Bros. Wii Extreme Settings, 1 life, 9,428,480 points by Chris Hellman.
Dang.
Again,
Dang.
that almost doubles the previous score, which was only set a month and a half prior. I mean, that is very impressive. Like I said, I still can't even get 2 million, and I just play the game straight through.
Yeah,
I mean, I've died many times.
I don't know where the ceiling is on this game, but I mean, it's just keeps climbing.
Yeah, it's like Donkey Kong. Speaking of Donkey Kong, if you haven't heard, the new Donkey Kong Junior world record, signed by Mark Keel, 1,307,500 points, beat Billy Mitchell's recent record only a couple weeks afterwards. And then, of course, Steve Wiebe for Donkey Kong, 1,064,500 points. Again, beats Billy Mitchell's scores from Ivgoff shortly after, within 26 days. It seems like it. And then more news from Arcade. Missile Command, 4,472,570 on tournament settings. Tony Temple from the UK, who had the previous world record, he just upped it about 2 million. Now that gives me onto a subject about when you have a video game world record and you've beaten it, how far do you keep, do you keep playing, or do you pull, I guess, a Mitchell more or less and stop playing? I got some few things I want to pick about why Mitchell does that, and is it good or bad?
Well, and you're referring to the viewers at home. You're of course referring to Billy Mitchell. Actually, when he beat Hank Chen's record for Donkey Kong, he stopped playing.
Correct.
Yeah, like barely beat it, right? Just like a little over.
He beat it by exactly what he beat Steve Wiebe's record by previously, but didn't actually kill screen the game.
He could have gone further. Yeah. We'll talk about that after we get through the rest of the world records. What else do you got, Josh?
For the Wii, Tatsunoko versus Capcom, time attack mode, fastest completion for Jeffrey Lowe Jr., Columbus, Ohio. Metal Slug Anthology, Metal Slug 2, 1,157,060 points by Danny Michael from Centennial, Colorado. Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Multi-Man Brawl, Endless Brawl, 272 kills by Thomas Travato from London, Ontario.
Wow.
That's nice.
That's a lot, man. That game gets hard.
Pinball Hall of Fame by Dennis Weaver, 240,021,300 points. He's from Columbus, Ohio. And for the WiiWare, Bubble Bobble Plus, the Super Arrange mode, the 4-player mode, 848,160 points by Jason Brodsky, Jody McFarlane, Joshua Schwalb, and Dan Phillips from Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's a pretty good score, but actually I think maybe the two of us, we need to get a hold of some more Wiimotes and see if the four of us can't...
we can drag these two along.
There's a Wiimote shortage in the studio.
Yeah, there is.
We need that competition, get a couple more.
We kind of wanted to take a stab at it right away.
Maybe we'll win the Sin and Punishment, get the 2 black.
That's what I'm thinking.
The great Wiimote shortage of 2010.
It's a horrible drought. It's a Wiimote depression, really.
Good. That is a good score, though.
Oh yes, very good score.
Also for the Xbox 360, start over, so move my shit around. Also for the Xbox 360, we have Guitar Hero 2, Return of the Shred, Killing in the Name, 1 player, points 139,636 from Timothy McVeigh from Oskaloosa, Iowa. For the PlayStation 3, we have Green Day Rock Band, Good Riddance, Time of Your Life, vocals, 118,000 points from Jackie Bartlett of Redford, Michigan.
Hey.
For the PlayStation 2, we have Snoopy versus the Red Baron, campaign mode, Mines of the Matterhorn, Mission 1, fastest completion, 3 minutes 59 seconds from Troy Whalen in Mechanicsville, Virginia.
And for the Super Nintendo, NBA Jam, Biggest Blowout, 1 player only, 16 by Daniel Strickland of Perea, Blue Springs. For the Nintendo Entertainment System, Dragon Warrior, fastest completion by James Sorge of Jackson, New Jersey. And for the Intellivision, Skiing, Slope 1, Downhill, 1 minute 15 seconds by Matthew Miller of Hamilton, New Jersey.
Heck yeah, Intellivision, baby.
That is sweet, dude.
Fun game,
oh, dude,
sure.
Skiing for that or Atari is just freaking fantastic game.
Fun.
It's so much fun.
Now, let's get back a little bit to the Steve Wiebe, Billy Mitchell, Ivgoff world record. I mean, what do you guys think of what Billy Mitchell did?
Well, I mean, it's tough to say. You know, I mean, would he have beaten what Steve Wiebe just threw down? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know. Nobody will know. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
he could have, you know, kill screened it shortly after that, and Steve Wiebe still would have beat this, but we'll never know. You know,
Yeah.
so it's almost like it's Billy who has to deal with that. You know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm sure he's hard at work. I'm sure him and Hank Chen as well. I'm sure these guys.
Yeah, I know
are all
Hank
coming
Chen is
back.
definitely going for it, and I'm assuming Steve Wiebe's actually working on the Donkey Kong World Jr. like we interviewed
Donkey
him.
Kong Jr.
But
yeah,
why do you guys think he does it?
I have a theory behind the way Billy Mitchell does things, and obviously I've never met Billy Mitchell. I didn't get a chance to meet him down at A-Golf or anything, but I do have a feeling that he is that good at Donkey Kong that honestly, I think he can beat the score no matter what it is. And I think it's genuinely fun for him to beat the score and get beat. I think he enjoys the competition more than holding the world record. So I think he looks forward to it. I think that's why he sets the bar just right over it. So then as soon as someone else beats it, he's like, all right, I can beat that.
Something to play for.
Exactly. I
Because-
think it gives him, it doesn't end it for
Because
him.
in our interview, he didn't really say. It seemed like the impression we got from him that he didn't seem to enjoy playing video
no,
games.
he did not.
It seems, which
And he
bizarre
did-
to me, because
He did mention how it is a lot of work, and he does
Yeah.
have to practice hard to, you know, get to this level. And even when he's away from it for a while, he has to practice hard to get back to this level. But he obviously does have a gift when it comes to this. Steve Wiebe and Hank Chen must as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to wonder. You know, there was even some talk at IVGolf. This isn't something I necessarily agree with, but there was even some talk saying that, you know, by him not kill screening the game, he technically didn't beat the game,
yeah,
and
That's true,
that
actually.
perhaps shouldn't. That the record maybe should only be if you kill screen the game. Highest score after the game is kill screened. I don't know that that's necessarily something I agree with, but
Yeah.
there was some
a lot of people.
you know some
Yeah.
talk that if somebody gets a certain score but someone else gets it and also gets a kill screen with it, is
Yeah,
that
see-
not perhaps a better?
I think it kind of
Yeah.
opens a can of worms, though, because then is there
Yeah.
like two different world records?
Then, well, there is, and then you jump into the hammer, no hammer. You're getting
What if
too
you do
many
it
variations
blindfolded?
of, you know. So I mean, that's just talk. But you know, we set the rules, and that's what they are. And wonder when Billy's gonna try again. You
Yeah,
know? And mad props to Steve Wiebe. It's been 3 long years since he's been the king of Kong.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And it's very neat for him to be back.
No.
Now, on another world record news, now Tony Temple was the world record holder and still is today. He just upped his score. Now, I look at him. I kind of want to get an interview with him here shortly about. He must really just enjoy the game and enjoy the competition for going for that larger and larger record. I mean, he just beat his old score. That's it.
He didn't just beat his old score.
Or he destroyed it.
And
Seriously.
what a lot of people would do in that situation is record that score and sit on it just in case someone else beats your score, and then
Yeah.
you have one in the bank. A lot of people have done this in the past. So I give props to Tony Temple for just saying,
What
no,
the heck?
this is now the high score. It's out there, and submitting it right now.
So-
It's an intimidation game is what that is.
Yeah, no kidding.
There's 8 people probably working on a high score right now. Here's this new score. Now there's 2 people working on it.
Yep. Yeah, you almost have to wonder if he's just been beating the record he's had for years all the time, and if he just went, I should probably record one of these, you know?
So what would you guys do, more or less? Like, would you guys, let's say you beat the world record, and then you came back and then you played again the second time, and you've been recording because you know you've been doing well and you don't want to miss it. Would you guys hold on to that tape?
I
More
think
or
I
less?
might. I
You
think I might.
Why?
Yeah. Just because it's it's simply less work. You know, it's like when you're running track. It's easier when there's somebody running next to you, just
Okay.
because you have something to gauge
Yeah.
gauge your performance off of. And if you have all the people chasing your record, but really you have
Very
the new
heavy.
record sitting at home, which, you know, just because you have this record sitting at home doesn't mean when somebody beats it, they're not going to
Yeah.
go over what you have sitting at your in
And
your
you
video
did.
tape.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not a surefire form of victory, but it's
Do you guys have any? Would you guys do it or?
Honestly, I mean, it depends on the game. If I held a record in a game, chances are it's going to be a game I love. So it would I probably wouldn't turn it into later, just because it would be kind of like, oh, well, you know, what's the point? Almost. Not to knock Tony Temple at all, because that record's that's so awesome.
Phenomenal.
But no, it's great. But I mean, I'm just out of the sheer like, well, I don't have to do it. Mainly, it's probably out of laziness more than anything. But yeah, I mean, I would still probably be recording though, especially if I was like, if I knew I could still beat it. You know, I always like to have something on hand.
And I don't think I would do what Billy Mitchell did. Not to criticize him, because he had the record, and, you know, and who's to say he won't regain it in the future. But I don't think I would do that, just because I would think if I was there, I was at that point, I think I would. Once it's broke, going. I think I would keep going.
Exactly.
And also,
absolutely.
in a game like Donkey Kong, especially when the kill screen is, you know, inevitable.
Yeah.
I think I'd play it till the kill screen.
Okay.
But hey, who are we to question Billy Mitchell or Steve Weeby's techniques? These,
Hey, our like 14,000 on Donkey Kong is awesome.
I still haven't played Donkey Kong.
I can't. That is amazing to me.
I've
actually.
tried my hardest the past month or two. I went to
keep that kind of stuff to yourself, man.
I know.
In the arcade, you should say.
There's one nearby. Yeah, in the arcade. I played it on
Donkey Kong.
I played it on Intellivision, Atari, Nintendo, the new system.
He has played it before.
I played the home versions, but never the arcade, and it's kind of sad. I want to really do it.
All right, I mean, I'm just kind of saying, you host a video game podcast. Act as if, sir. Right? So
I play it all the time.
You should do that before there aren't any machines.
Yes,
that is true.
But what we want you to do is we want you to send in your response to our question. Basically, if you beat the world record and you already had the world record, would you send in the tape right away? Would you send in that higher score?
Or would you sit on it?
Or would you sit on it? Would you also, to our second part of our question, if you did beat the world record, would you just beat it by a couple points, shut it off? Why would you do it? Why would you keep playing the game? Give us a good reason. Send a video response on our YouTube account, or send us an audio file through email to send it to the email address on the screen, and we'll pick and choose and put one on the next podcast. We'll come back to this on the next podcast to see what you say. And we'll also send whoever we choose their video a bottle of Billy Mitchell's famous Louisiana hot sauce.
it's really good.
It's pretty darn good.
Stuff.
That's one guy that guy can do. I don't know if he can play Donkey Kong. I think Weeby's a little bit better, but he can make some really good hot sauce for sure.
Yeah, I've never had Weeby's hot sauce before. I don't know if he makes any, but
Yeah, well, let's go the opposite of hot sauce. Let's talk about the coolest game on ice. NHL 11 video review.